hiring engineer. People hire me to do two things. I'm to make sure that if I go down here to Stam's warehouse, or if I go down here to Sutherland's or Lowe's or Home Depot, if I go in that, then I'll buy something. If I buy that electric wire, that wire better do what that box says. I'm to make sure we're not lying about what we produce. When the company hired me, that I'm to make sure that whatever we're manufacturing, we go buy in town at that store, it better do what the box says. We better be lying about what we're making. But then when somebody hired me, I have a year after they hired me to make that product better. I'm supposed to improve the process thinking. I'm supposed to improve the process. I'm getting 2 new knees this year, by the way. Thank you, just a year today. And so I was to improve the process. So if a year later, if that product isn't making more money than it did the year they hired me, I'm probably going to be fired. I'm to improve the process. So when I got out of that, we got in the ministry. I got the family ministry. So I said, what do you do? Well, you're the education director. That's what is that? We're in charge of teaching them about. Teach them whatever they need to know. I don't know. We're new at this. So it was the late 70s, early 80s. From one of those early charismatic Word of Faith churches, we don't know anything. We just know we have a ton of people. We don't know why they come to church. We were running in the late 70s, 3,000 people every weekend. People said, man, how do you get it? We don't know. We don't know how they just show up. We were running 3 Sunday morning services. We had 3 buses at each service. And we said, where do you get your kids from? We don't get them anywhere. Yeah. Yes. And so what do you do with the buses? Well, when the families came to church, if your child between 5 and 12, they weren't allowed in the building. They have to get on the bus. We were a shopping center a mile down the road. We bus them away from the church. So we had 3 buses every service. The bus gets away from our church, not to our church. People said, how'd you do that? We don't have a clue. God, it was one of those supernatural places. God was just moving. People just show up at church. I mean, business people, poor people, biker people, street people. It was a zoo. And people said, what are you doing? I don't know. I thought I'd come in. It looked like something was going on. So it was a supernatural time. Well, eventually that wave hit the shore. And we dropped from 3,000 people to 2,500. Later we dropped to 2,000. Later we dropped to 1,500. Later we dropped to 1,000. I think today they run about 700. So what happened? Well, we didn't know. We didn't make it happen. We didn't stop it from happening. We were just kind of in the middle of it. So eventually, when we started losing people, we had a meeting and said, what are we going to do? Well, I guess we're going to become real Christians and actually go out and witness to people. We probably have to invite them to church. We didn't invite anybody. They just came. It was one of those odd times. So eventually we have become real Christians. Now, in the business world, Christianity is an odd thing because I've been in church my whole life. My mom and dad had me in church the week after I was born. I went to every camp meeting, every training union. We never missed a Sunday. We never missed a Sunday night or Wednesday night. I was in church my whole life. I carried the Bible my whole life. I never read it, but I carried it like Tinkerbell. Like some magic wand. You wave it at the devil, doesn't scare it. And so it took years to realize it's Christ in me, not waving us up. And so I finally got that. So I got to thinking when I was hired on staff about God said, not people destroyed for lack of knowledge. I realized as Christians, we were the most ignorant people I'd ever dealt with in my life. And I've been working as an engineer. I knew the people were smart people. The Christian people, it's like, man, you can't rub 2 scriptures together. God said, I'll watch over my word to perform it. We couldn't quote one. What's going on? We don't know anything. We don't scare the devil. So I don't scare the devil. God's word ain't coming out of my mouth that scares the devil. So I got to thinking back when I was an engineer in Sikeston, Missouri, years ago. We were a brand new plant. We'd been in Jewett City, Connecticut, but things got so expensive. All the people that owned the company said, we need to move to middle America. So we moved to farm country in Louisville, Missouri. Moved the whole plant and everything down there. So we got the boot hill. Thank you so much. So we're down in the boot hill, and these are farmers, work real hard working people. And they had a big shoe company with about 4 employees that closed down. So a lot of unemployed people. I don't have about 12,000 people in it. So we bring this company here. This had been a plant that built airplanes during World War II. It's been closed for 30 years. And it's closed up. Well, we opened it back up and bought this equipment in it. And so we're trying to get it to work. And so, we bought this big machine. This is all copper rod. We made everything about copper, 12 2, 14 2, 18 gauge, 26 gauge, all the stuff around these wires, these lights. We made all of that. But it started at the front end of this plant, big old long plant, single level, big old long thing. And so we have what we call a rod breakdown machine. Huge machine, paid a lot of money for it. It took a big copper rod and it drew that copper rod down into a wire of different sizes. This machine fed that whole plant. We'd had 2 layoffs, 2 Christmases in a row, which is a bad time to have a layoff. And so we thought, well, let's get this machine and maybe we can make this better and faster. So we got this new machine, so we bought it. Now, men don't like reading manuals, you know. We don't read books, you know. We just open it up, plug it on, and turn it on. You know, I don't need to read no manuals, mostly in French, and German, and Japanese, anyhow, I can't read it. Turn it on. And so we did that, this big machine. And so we bought it, came in brand new. And it's been running great for 2 weeks. Now I live out in the country, in Missouri, in the movie. And so I get a call about 2 o'clock in the morning. Joe, the rod breakdown machine has stopped running. And so I'm asleep. So what? The big rod, the machine that feeds this whole plant, it stopped running. If we don't get this machine running the next 3 or 4 days, we're going to have to shut this whole plant down. I said, what have you done this? Have you done this? I said, yeah. Okay, I'll be there about 20 minutes. So I get in the truck, I drive into town. It's July, it's hot, mosquitoes are flying around. This machine's at the back of the plant. Big double doors open, mosquitoes and gnats are flying around. It's in the middle of the night. And everybody's there. The plant manager showed up, you know, the supervisor showed up. Everybody's trying to figure out why the machine's not working. And so they're flipping switches and hitting on it with a hammer and they're trying to figure it out. And so I did this about 90% of the time. I'm asked questions, have you done this? Yes, have you done this? And so eventually, about 90% of the time in the years I worked as an engineer, I said, well, where's the handbook? So I said, what? I said, this big machine came with a handbook. You go to Sears, you buy a lawnmower, it comes with a handbook. You go to Walmart, you buy a blender, it comes with a handbook. You go to Ford, you buy a pickup truck, it comes with a handbook. This big machine came with a handbook. Where's the handbook? They didn't know. It took 30 minutes. We found it in the foreman's office, and the Ford worker still wrapped in plastic. Nobody's got that stupid handbook. So I got the handbook, and so I'm the engineer. They think I'm doing the algebraic equation. Every handbook in the world has a troubleshooting section in the back. Every handbook, a blender, a sewing machine, a lump, there's a troubleshooting section somewhere in the back of that book. So I just go to the back, and they don't know what I'm reading. I'm doing algebraic, you know, calculus, everything. I go back and say, here's the troubleshooting. So I'm reading the troubleshooting. I've done number 1, we done it, yeah. It was either number 3 or number 4. It said, is machine plugged in? This is a real old plant. So we just moved in and we just used the existing, you know, 440 and 220 plugs that were there. And so this is the machine. So I thought, well, let's see machine. And nobody knows what I read. So I walked over to the machine. There's about 18 inches to an inch in the wall. So the back corner of this whole plant, this is where everything starts. So I'm looking back down what I'm looking for. Girl, they're still slapping stuff. Well, I'm looking for that big plug. Somewhere back there's that plug. So I look down behind and see where there's coffee cups, tobacco spit, and trash and stuff. I don't see. So I turned sideways, a lot scared back there. I turned sideways and ease down. This thing's about 30 foot long, about 14 foot deep, about 12 foot high. It's a huge machine. I get all the way back down, look down the back of this machine, and sure enough, I see that big plug hanging that way on the wall. So there's an old plant, this real sloppy plug. So the vibration, it's just backed out. So nobody sees, so I ease down that thing, and all of a sudden I get to it, and I kicked it in. When I kicked it in, it came on. You can hear it, hey Joe, work it, hey Joe, work it. Everybody's yelling at me. That's okay, I'll be right out. So anyhow, it took about a minute to get out. Everybody's slapping on the back, shaking again. Man, Joe, appreciate it. So all I said was, well, if it tears up again, call me. Because you don't tell a grown man at 2:30 in the morning, hey, stupid, did you not check the plug? You're not getting back to this Christmas party, I guarantee you. So the next morning, going to Charlie McPhail's plant manager, he went to Michigan State, played football, great guy, good boss. Calls and he said, Joe, appreciate you getting that machine running last night. I said, no problem, Charlie. And I'm sitting in this nice big office, he's got a big table in front of his desk. So I'm sitting, he said, so he's got a notepad. He said, well, was it going to happen again? I said, yes. And he said, doggone, do we need to call the manufacturer? No, sir, it's not the manufacturer's problem. What is it? It's our problem. It was unplugged. He got real quiet. He said, what? Yeah, I just plugged it back up. He said, are you billing us that? I said, yeah, where did I turn it into the county? Because I'm freelance, I get paid for what I do. He said, you bill it? Yeah, that's an expensive plug. But I bet you I never have to do that again. Because I bet you you're going to fix that outlet today. You'll never have to do that again. And so what I tell people is, you and I came with a handbook. Yeah, amen. There's only one volume. Volume 2 is not coming out. It's just one. It still works. God says, if you meditate this word day and night, there's something, you'll prosper and have good success. Joshua 1 verse 8 says, if you meditate this word day and night, you'll prosper and have good success. Psalm 1:3 says, if you meditate this word day and night, you'll prosper and have good success. What's the problem? People are ignorant of the word of God. They're mad at their relatives, their boss, the government, the president, the Congress, the Senate, their neighbors. It's somebody else's fault. If it wasn't for them, it wasn't for them. If it wasn't for everybody else, I'll be doing fine. Because it's everybody else's fault. And it starts to mention that your mother's womb. First word a kid learns is no. Say daddy, no. Say mom, no. Kids are born from base when they leave their mother's womb. They want to do what they want to do when they want to do it. That's why they have to be trained and taught. And people, I've met people all over America. We do about 60 seminars a year. This is our 26th year. We do about 60 seminars a year in every state. We do from parent, marriage, men, and women. That's our 4 things we do. Because I realized the first thing God lost was the family. You got to go back to Genesis, because I was an engineer when I started teaching on parenthood. Well, let's go back to what happened to the family. I don't know. I've been to Bible school. I need to go back to teach. So I went to Genesis, and it took several months to get to Revelation. So I'm trying to look what happened. Well, the family got broke in the Garden of Eden. Now there's Adam. Adam's there. Everything's good. The weather's perfect. Food's free. Clothes are cheap. It's really nice. God's talking to himself. It's been 6 days of creation. God's coming down. He's talking to himself. He says, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. And all of a sudden, God says, not good. The first time God ever uttered those words, not good, he was looking at a man. And he said, not good. And so what's not good? You, not good. So what's wrong? You're alone. He had no concept of alone. There's just birds, bees, flowers, trees. He didn't think about being alone. We got to lay down here, son. So Adam lays down, and God puts him into a deep sleep. God takes out a rib, and Adam wakes up, and he's missed the rib, and there in front of him is the centerfold of life. He went, whoa. God said, I thought you'd like that. And they went off to fellowship that day. They didn't milk the cows or feed the camels. They went off to fellowship, and they figured it out. I tell people, most historians estimate by the time of the flood, there were 8 billion people on this planet. Wow. People lived to be 700, 800, 900 years of age. When they died, they're producing babies like just a bunch of bunny rabbits. There are people everywhere, but they're all sinful. Let's start with Adam. Because when Adam and Eve sinned, they got fired from their job, evicted from their house, and kids start killing each other. That's the first family. It goes downhill in Revelation, except for right in the middle where we have silent night, holy night, winter, kings, and warring on. Some people look forward to it by faith, like Abraham. We look back on it by faith. It's still faith. That faith you don't please God. That faith you don't go to the devil. So us in the first family, God's made out of Eve, never got off fellowship, and also God came down and walked in the garden every day with them. So all of a sudden, God's walking through the garden. You read it in every translation. I've got the New Living Translation. I have not left the King James, but I don't speak King James. I study it, but I don't speak it. I speak modern English. I have a New Living Translation. I'll wear out several. So God's walking through the garden. He's coming. He says, Adam, where are you? Well, he knows where he's at. He's kind of getting to talk to him. Adam, I'm over here. He kind of asks him, what are you doing? Adam says, I was hiding. Why are you hiding? Well, I was naked. And God says, who told you were naked? Did you eat that fruit I told you not to eat? Here it starts. The very first thing. Did you eat that fruit? And so Adam's thinking, well, it was the woman he gave. It was the woman he gave me. God, it was just me. It was paradise. It was perfect. Ever since you brought that one of my life, been going downhill. New Living Translation. So the very first family, Chris followed it. Hers. And so all of a sudden, I only counsel Christians because there's nothing to go around. Never counsel a Christian couple. I say, well, it's his fault, her fault, his fault, her fault. Nobody will take responsibility for themselves. It's always somebody else's fault, their fault. Every time you get a conversation with a Christian, it takes 5 minutes to learn. Your mouth will reveal what's in your heart. I see new problems right now. You're a thumb-sucking 5-year-old doofus. You might have a grown-up body, but you never grew up. It's always somebody else's fault. You're not responsible for yourself. So, God said, well, now that you've sinned, he told him, well, now that you've sinned, first started out and said, well, that you've sinned, he said, you're going to have to work for the sweat of your brow. Before sin, everything was wonderful. Weather's perfect, food. Now that you've sinned, thorns and thistles are growing. You will have to work by the sweat of your brow. That was in Genesis. You talk to anybody that's got a good job. That's a job, man. It's hard. Man, my job hard. I work hard. Last started in Genesis is part of the curse. You have to work by the sweat of your brow. And said, then it comes down to Eve and says, well, now that you sinned, said, you're going to have pain in childbirth. Now, I assume that means there was no pain in childbirth before the fall. I think having a baby is like spitting out water on the sea. After sin, having a baby is like spitting out a watermelon. It changed. So you're going to have pain in childbirth, and your desire is going to be to rule over your husband, that he will ruthlessly rule over you. Male chauvinism, women's little race were not born in the 1960s. They were born in the Garden of Eden. I tell every couple, if you get married and you're not born again, spirit-filled, you're not in church, hell's coming. Hell's coming. It's going to stomp you into the ground. There's just as many Christian divorces as there are secular divorces. Yes. All over the country. Come on. Just because you're Christian doesn't even know what the book says. So the only weapon you possess is God's spoken word. And you don't say what he says. You're an idiot, just like your mother. You're like your father. Shut up, you shut up. Life and death in the power of the tongue. All divorces start with words. All affairs start with words. All bad. All marriages start with words. All good words, life and death, it's all in the tongue. First thing you got to learn as Christians, you got to learn to shut your mouth. Let the redeemed the Lord say so. Let the weak say, I'm strong. Let the poor say, I'm rich. Call those things to be done as though they are. You got to say what God says. It's not what you think. But you don't think no. I'm not thinking this. It won't be good. People are saying, not that big stuff. I'll tell you what I think. We don't really want to know that. It's not good. We don't care what you think. If you're not going to quote this, shut your ear out. Because nothing is going to come out. It's just another argument which escalates. Decibel gets louder and you holler more. You start using 4-letter words. Why? Men holler because they know they're losing an argument. All men do that. I tell kids, I tell parents once that your dad's yelling because he knows he's out of power. It's like a gasoline noble when you mow the grass or maybe on your tractor. Right before that engine runs out of gas, it'll surge. All get, man, where you been? It's about to die. All gasoline engines surge before they run out of gas. And so he's yelling because he didn't have anything left to say. He starts talking about your mom, your dog, your cat, your sister. He's trying to fight because he's out of punch. And so what happens is he's being destroyed because he didn't know what God says. I tell men in our marriage when I said, a woman is the second greatest gift God ever gave to mankind. And we used to make fun of it. Junior, I guess you think you're God's gift to me. And I tell them, I telling you, I am God's gift to me. That's exactly what I am. I am God's gift to mankind. And so the boys who learn the wrong way, they don't know how to serve. She said, you want to be great in that kingdom? You want to be great? You learn how to be the servant of all. If you don't learn how to serve, you're going to be a pain everywhere you go. You think you have rights. I used to tell people, Hallmark's got the cards all wrong. You go to a card store and somebody gets married in your family. I got a big family. My dad had 12 brothers and sisters, so my mom also. Big family. So he was makes me congratulations. I heard you got married. I said, no, it should say, I'm so sorry. I heard you got married. Because a marriage is a covenant. And you can have a covenant as you die. But a marriage is where two people standing open before God and witnesses, and you're declaring from this day forward until death us do part. I'm giving my life to you, not until I kill you first. Because a marriage is a covenant. You can't have a covenant unless you die. So I used to tell them all the time, what do I get to choose? You have no choice. You die. The marriage is going to shut up. You're going to spend the rest of your life living this life. I used to tell our teenagers, what you're doing when you get ready, we're in love. You don't know love, but love's the most expensive 4-letter word in the universe. You don't tell somebody I love you, get out your billfold, your checkbook, your 401k, your hunting dog, your basketball, your ride, your pickup truck, pile all that on the table. Hey, I love you. Because if love's not costing you something, it's not love. For God so loved the world, he gave everything he had. Love's the most expensive word in the word either. And so, this when you get weird love, I said, I doubt it. You're dumb as a bat, trust me. Most people, what they think love is, it's a 6-syllable word. It's a hormone. It lasts about 18 months from the time you fall in love until you wake up 18 months later next to a she-bear in the pit of hell. What happened? The hormone wore off. So God gives you a jump start where we're just love. No, it's the faith. God's giving you time to develop a real love, the serving love, to go the second mile love, to give you my shirt down, my coat love, to stay awake when I'm tired and can't stay awake now love, to wash extra dishes, to change that other diaper when you're trying to do it. That kind of love. It's called agape love. That's what real love is. And you do find people all over the country been married a long time. There was one couple one time when we were up in South Dakota, and he was 89, she was 87. They've been married forever. They're married young teenagers. And somebody asked, what's the secret of success? Being married a long time. And I said, what? And sweet farmer, big farmer. He said, what's the secret of your success? He turned his wife, so he said, we just didn't quit. And that was his answer. There's no perfect people. They don't exist. There are no perfect children because there's no perfect parents. There are no perfect parents because there's no perfect grandparents. We all go stupid every day. The Bible says the righteous fall 7 times a day and they get back up. If you're not repenting on a daily basis, forgiving on a daily basis, you get what we call spiritually constipated. You're stopped up. You're full of stuff. Why? You need to repent, forgive on a regular basis. Why? Because you're messing up every day because we're growing in the grace and knowledge of the Lord Jesus. We're not perfect. We're growing in it. Every day you learn something new. Every day you learn. I didn't know that. Every day. I'm 67 years old. I'm 67. And I realized, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. And so you realize it's just an adventure. But what you're supposed to do is walk in love. So comes down to Adam and Eve. And sure enough, they got kicked out. And we all went down to the flood. We have 8 billion people, and only one family is still right in their mind. So the flood around 8 billion people. We call them stupid. We got it. Kill every one of them. I'll drown them all. Who's left? I just got this one family. So we got the story of Noah on the boat. Finally, the boat landed, and they got out, and they repopulated, so we get all down to the Tower of Babel. Old Nimrod's going to the Tower of Hell, and I guess how they can take over heaven. And so he's a doofus, but everybody's following because everything he make a good speech. So all of a sudden, God said, I got to stop this. What they set their mind to do, I got to stop this. I'm sure God knows what can I do. I know we can drown again. I'm sure some of you know you promised rainbow, no more drowning. Can't do that anymore. Okay, what can I do? I feel as a book he looks at and says, well, we'll just confuse the language because everybody spoke the same language. So you got this untold numbers of people building this tower over Babylon, this big tower. And one day somebody said, hey, hand me a brick. And somebody said, don't blow it. Spit that out of your mouth and hand me a brick. Blow it. And they couldn't understand one another, so they started throwing bricks at each other. And it stopped. It's true, it's historic. So they stopped building the tower, and they finally had to find somebody who could understand it. So they scattered to the 4 corners of the earth and started again. Well, we're coming up like a baseball game to strike 3. One world government, the Antichrist, 666, all that was kind of, well, Nancy's coming again because the devil's still trying to take over this planet. He knows his time's up. He knows his days are numbered. He knows it. You got to go back to the beginning, and I'll close with this. Because I realized that I had this very large, very successful Christian high school. And I realized they couldn't rub 2 scriptures together. You said you're a Christian, you said you're spirit-filled, you said you go to spirit-filled church. And so I remember one day I was so frustrated, so I said, okay, we're going to have a test today. Get out a blank piece of paper and a pencil. I want you to write down 10 commandments. They don't have to be in order. Write down the 10 commandments. You're all born again, spirit-filled, your parents are paying $1,000 to have this private Christian school. Write me they don't have to be in order. Write me the 10 commandments. Not one of them could. As you know, there's 613 laws. 10 commandments, just 10 of them. There's 613. You don't even know the 10. Which means the devil's probably eating you for lunch right now. Because the devil's only afraid of one thing, God's word coming out of your mouth. Since you have no word in your heart, you're not saying anything but nasty stuff. You cuss and you tell nasty jokes. There's nothing that scares hell coming out of your mouth. You don't have any of this in you, do you? That's your heart. So I got to start equipping them. So I taught chapel for 10 years, and well, I didn't. I had a guy that taught it the first year, and he was horrible. So kids are coming after chapel. So we got a big Christian school, real high academic school, but we got chapel. And I need to tell you this, I do not believe in chapel in a Christian school. I never have, never will. Because if you got a Christian school, number one, you say you have a Christian school. No, you don't. No, you got Baptist, Methodist, Church God, Assembly God, Pentecost, Independent. You got the zoo out here. So I don't care what you say, 1 out of 10 is going to like it, 9 out of 10 think that's heresy. So I've never believed in teaching scripture in a Christian school. We're not a church. We're an academic institution. We're going to teach you algebra, calculus, English. We're going to teach you how to be successful in life. You got a church, go to church. This isn't church. This is a Christian school. So parents get mad because you have a Bible class that they have to pay. And these parents are paying $4,000 a year. And their son comes home with an F in Bible. You got an F in Bible? You got an A, but you got the F in Bible? What do you do in the Bible? Well, now they don't know the Bible. They don't want to read it. It was boring. So I remember I'm having people complain. So I went in the back of chapel one day and I sat back there. And I sat there for 15 minutes. Beautiful chapel, had a nice building. I sat back there and I thought, I'm lost as a goose in a snowstorm. I don't even know what he's saying. And I hired him. He's a business. I can't get him out of no one. Because every day at the chapel, then the kids sit in the office, cutting up, shooting spit wads, punching one another. They weren't paying attention. And I realized, I'm not paying attention. I don't even know what he's saying. What's he saying? And so I changed and said, no more grading chapel. Everybody gets an A. Everybody stay Bible. No more chapel. No more 50-minute Bible class. I cut it down to 30 minutes. The next thing I did, I said, I told everyone, I said, nobody's ever bring your Bible to class again. You're not allowed to bring your Bible to class. You just come listen to me. I'm going to read my Bible. I know what I'm going to say. And so I realized, because one day I said, because she said to the kids, okay, turn to Genesis chapter 2, verse 3. And kids would ask, what page is that on? What page is it? So I thought, well, that's their ignorance. So what is it? Turn to Zephaniah chapter 4, verse 5. And the kids would turn, and I'm just teaching. What page is that? And so this kid, the singer came in the next day. Mr. Gee, there's not a Zephaniah. No, there's not, son. That's just how stupid you are. There's not a Zephaniah. There's only 66 books. You don't know what they are. Which means you don't know this book, which means you couldn't scare hell if you wanted to. Hell's afraid of one thing. This book in your heart come out of your mouth, and you don't have a clue what it said. Oh, you carry it, but you don't have a clue what it said. You're absolutely no weapons. It's like you're hitting the devil with a toothpick. You're just thinking of that. You've got to know the word of God. So I've always been a big believer in teaching the word else people could understand. So when I was going through all these years of teaching class, I had a class every Sunday I did on parenting for 8 years. What's bad about kid? What's the bad about kid? Well, your kid's just like you are. You know, reproduce yourself, good measure, press that shape. You know, every child's just like their parent. Or your child like you to hang out with. So I'm not going to cover that tonight. I'll be touching that Sunday morning. Jesus grew in 4 areas. Look to Jesus grew in wisdom, stature, favor of God, and favor of man. Jesus grew in wisdom. Well, the Bible says in Proverbs, wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get yourself up. Wisdom is the most important thing you can get. There's 4 kinds of people in Proverbs, only 4. Wise, simple, foolish, and scornful. If you're not wise people live a long time or filthy, stinking rich, and scale the wall of the city and tear it down. Only good things happen to wise people. If you're not wise, you're simple-minded. Are you evil? No. Are you full of the devil? No. You didn't exist? No. You're just ignorant. You don't believe scripture. You get scared of it. Simple-minded people kind of kid that keep coming. About once a week, the kid goes, Mom, what are you doing, Mom? I'm thinking you're down here. What'd you do? I kept messing it up. And so I said, son, you know what's wrong with you? You have no wisdom. You can do the same dumb thing over and over again. Same dumb thing. You won't grow up. You can't grow if you don't feed on the thing that makes you grow. And so I didn't real patient with those. But if you stay simple-minded, if you want to go to stage 3, you become a fool. Now the Bible says a fool makes a sport out of getting into trouble. Teachers love fools. They have great potential, but they're going nowhere. So a fool makes a game they get in trouble. Proverbs says a fool is like a dog that pukes his guts out and eats it again. You don't want to be a fool. If you stay a fool long enough, you go to stage 4, you become a scorner. What's a scorner? Scorners hate those that love them. That's good. Hates their parents, hates their boss, hates their teacher, hates their coach. Why? They're a scorner. They think they're God. The Bible says, cast out a scorn, strife, contention will cease. I expelled 7 kids in 10 years. Every kid I expelled, only 7. Their parent either hugged my neck or shook my hand and thanked me because they know I want the second person out of this kid. I will be patient with this kid, but then if this kid gets other kids in trouble with him, I will expel him that moment and I will let it back in school. Because I can deal with you one-on-one. If you start getting other people in trouble, I'm committed to get you out of here. You're on your own. It's just you and God. So we had this sort of standard that came in Peter Richard that having to read the Bible, he's got to get in the book. So what we're doing on Sunday morning, we'll talk about this Sunday morning. It is God's will that, well, as I said, Genesis said this, Genesis 2:18. God said, it's not good. Everybody say not good.
Not good.
It's not good for man to be alone. He's not changed his mind. It's not good for man to be alone. God made for two people to grow up together. Now, there are some people anointed to be single all their life, like the Apostle Paul. If he got married, he'd have messed his life up with somebody else. He was anointed to do what he did. Where 2/3 of the New Testament prayed, the Holy Ghost wasn't anybody. He was anointed there, but he was the exception, not the norm. The norm is most everybody, it's not good for men to be alone. God said, I'm going to give you a helpmate. A helpmate. Now, the first time that word help me. Help me. You got to get a helper. And people realize, well, we fall out of love. I've had one Christian couple. What's wrong with you? We have fallen out of love. So that's so sad. That's so sad. When did that happen? What? When did you fall out of love? I don't know. When did you fall in? What? When you weren't born next to each other, were you? When did you fall in love? Well, we went for coffee after church, we went for dinner, and we held hands and we kissed and we fell in love. That's not. And now what? We fall out. I said, well, biblically, that's impossible. Love's a decision. You can fall out of the bed, you can fall off the couch, you can fall out of your truck, you can fall in the ditch. You can't fall out of love. Love's a choice. You choose to love. It's a choice. It's not an emotion. There's emotions with it, you choose. And so I've had more couples say, well, we've fallen out, we're just going to try again. No, you're not. I had an aunt one time, she was married 7 times. Bless her. I love her. I did her first wedding, great gal, through Rice, 8K, bought my skin. A year and a half later, she was divorced. She got married again. This is a couple. She lived in Odessa, Texas. Why don't you come marry me again? Because I'm a family preacher. I have all the weddings and funerals for free. She says, no, man, I will not marry you again. So I'll come to your wedding, eat cake, but I will not marry you. Why not? Because you don't need to get married. Last thing you need to do right now is get married. Because you keep marrying you. So what? Lifetime draws lifetime. You keep marrying you. That's why kids that are 16, we're in love. No, you're an idiot. No, you're not in love. If I gave you the 4 letters word, the word love, you couldn't even put them together in the right order. Love's the most expensive 4-letter word in the universe. And you're not ready for that. Maybe on a dating, I used to tell them, because I had 5 daughters and sons, and I wore them all. I put them through the whole classes. Listen, you got some guy out on the date, some guy's because our man got all the Greek diploma. He wants to kiss you. I love you. He's a liar from pit of hell. He can't love you. His mama washed his clothes for him. It's his daddy's blue cologne. That's his daddy's car he's driving. He can't even take care of himself. He says he loves you. He's a liar from the pit of hell. He can't even love him. That's why he still lives with his mom. He can't even love himself. Till a man can love himself, he can't love you. Because there's only one source of love, that's God. He doesn't know God. I love you. He's a liar. He doesn't love you. And so we've seen so many funny but sad stories about kids we've seen. And this one kid was dating, and to date my daughters, you had to come, first you had to get permission from my wife and I before Friday. So I gave our daughters, I said, Dad, I don't want to go out with them. Okay. So a guy would call, Mr. Kid, yeah, it's been Bob. Hello. Yeah, I'd like to take your daughter out Friday night. I said, no, I'm serious. I'm making this up. I said, no. He got quiet. Mr. You there? Yes, sir. I'm here. Just going to call and get permission. I want to take your daughter out Friday night. I said, no. I said, well, why? Mr. You there? Yes, sir. I'm not here. Well, I'm calling to get permission to take your daughter out Friday night. I said, no. He said, why not? I don't need an answer. For my daughters, I'm not sure. Grow up with your own daughters and give permission to do what you want to do. He said, I know. Why? I don't need an answer. They're my daughters. Some people get to lie and say, oh, why is it? No. Now, there are times when the girls come on that we went well and guys, okay. It's this one kid, not red-headed kid, I like him. He comes to me, I'd like to take your daughter from that. I said, well, I need to see you for 30 minutes before Friday. Meet you after the ball practice today, meet you after church Wednesday night, but I need to see you for 30 minutes before Friday. And so I said, you come out of the house and we'll have some coffee. So this kid came out of my house and my wife made some apple pie and coffee. I sat there. And what I do, I'm just going to have a 30-minute conversation. Everybody wants to have my note. I just need a 30-minute conversation. I'm not real. We're just going to talk. Just mostly what you're doing, how school's going. But somewhere in that 30-minute conversation, I'm going to ask this question. Something you see yourself doing 5 years from now. And then this kid jumped in and said, well, I'm going to get a job at a new McDonald's down here in Bixby since I got out of high school. I'm going to get a Ford F-150 pickup, a Beretta 300 shotgun, and a new hot dog. And that is verbatim what he said. That was his 5-year plan. I said, son, you need to have another piece out of the pie. That's how you get this house. So my wife and I spent 18 years training up our daughter to go somewhere and help somebody get there. But I'm confident with the vision you have, you can get there all by yourself. You don't need any help. And I've had more young people, not just teenagers. We're in love. No, you're not. And so, what's your 5-year plan? What? Where are you going to be 5 years? I don't know. You don't need to get married. You just need to get a dog or a cat or a buddy, a monkey or a raccoon or something. You don't need to get married. Because that's the most expensive thing you'll ever do in your life. It's the second greatest gift God ever gave to mankind is a spouse. The second greatest gift in the world is a spouse. But that's going to cost you. Are you willing to pay the price? If you're not, it's going to go south from the upper mountains. So what we've done through the years is there's a lot of humor in what I teach, but he said, you know what's funny? I grew up in a big family. Downtown Tennessee, we had 753 people who worked for copper mines, 13 copper mines, deep mines. Nice town. It's not coal mines, it's copper mines. Beautiful homes. The mining company built these beautiful homes. So we had one main street with paved sidewalks and street lamps. We got a 3-lane bowling alley, a library, a big store, a drugstore. We had a big liquor-sized swimming pool just outside of town. We had a little landing strip over here. We had a 9-hole golf course. We had a big gym. The guy that owned the drugstore, but Kinsey Junior College, they never used it for that. It's became the high school, the most magnificent high school I've ever seen in my life. For a town of just over 750 people. We were a very nice community. Beautiful. When we had 4th of July, nobody watched the 4th of July parade because everybody was in the 4th of July parade. Nobody watched the Christmas parade because everybody was in the Christmas parade. And we were a very tight bunch. When I was 5, my dad moved out of that end of Chattanooga to get a job in DuPont Company, 60-something miles away. I cried all the way down the line. Dad, why can't we stay here? My grandmother's here, my uncles are here, my cousin, why can't we stay here? He said, son, this is a good town to be from. You don't want to be here, you're going to be from here. If you stay here, you're going to work in the mines to see the kill or cripple almost every man in our family. Plus, if you stay here, you're going to marry your cousin. But we're all related. Now, I didn't understand because I was 5 the best I got it. So it was a good place to be from. But you have to watch out. When you grow up, if you don't have a good pastor and a good church teaching this right here, hell's going to come. The kings of the earth, Isaiah 55, will stand in judgment. Everybody's going to be there. Lucifer's going to be there before he goes to the lake of fire. It says the kings of the earth will ask God, is that the devil? Because he's going to be there. And God said, And they're going to ask, well, where's his horns? And God said, his what? Where's his horns? He has no horns. Well, where's his tail? His what? His tail. He has no tail. He doesn't puke green stuff. His head does not whirl around and around. Lucifer is the single most beautiful thing God ever made in eternity. There's nothing more beautiful than Lucifer. But he's like a coral snake in deadly. So sin never comes puking green stuff. Sin shows up in your life, child's life, looking good, sounding good, smelling good, and talking good. Hell's always cloaked in other things. That's why, how do you know when it's hell? This. This is the problem. If I know this, that's not God. It looks good, that's not God. Sounds good, that's not God. I know God, that's not God. Well, it feels good, no, that's not God. So if you grew up with this and you realize you can discern going through life, what is that? No, I think we need to go here. No, I think I need to take that job. No, I think we need to live it here. God's going to order your steps and direct your path your whole life, if you will let it. But you can get started and do it on your own. So that we don't want that to happen. So, and I said, we're going to have a really fun time. We're going to laugh a lot, but I'm going to talk about the differences and men and women. Most of us out of the public library, there's a lot of scripture. God put a man and woman together and they're total opposites. So I'll close this by saying so many couples come in, we just can't get along. I said, what? One couple been married 31 years. We can't get along, we don't agree on anything. I said, you're perfect for one another. And I thought I'm trying to be funny. No. Opposites attract. Listen, I did gear ratios for industry for years. Get this big gearbox that runs this big industrial computer machine over here. If you put two sets of gear teeth together with the same number of teeth in that gearbox, you turn that machine on, they'll shoot. Opposites attract. Opposites attract. Not the same. When you get married, you marry your exact opposite. When God made a woman, he made something different. Because he looked at that and said, you know something? I like you, son, but you need help. I got to make you a helper. He didn't make another man. It's not Adam and Steve. It's Adam and Eve. He made something totally different. And we'll get into the Sunday morning. Eve's smarter, got a higher vocabulary, thinks and does 4 things at one time. When he made one, he made something better to help the man that he loves. So most fights in all marriages, we just don't get on enough. We're not supposed to do this. Opposites attract. Opposites attract. And I just married the wrong person. No, you married your perfect match. We don't agree with it. Wonderful, it's a gift from God. There's no bumper sticker text that says when two people are just alike, one of them's not needed. That's it. So let's bow our heads. We're going to pray, and I'm going to let you go. Father, I want to thank you.